Wow.
Yeah. And the next Sunday was my first time. After Rhapsody was launched in Lagos, the next Sunday got Rhapsody in our church. Then I was in NRS Satellite Church, precisely. And before then, I'm not really a book person. And they brought the book. Only the cover I saw. The way the book was. I looked at it. I said, this book looked nice. And I opened it. Pastor, that changed my life. First of all, I took my copy. But at the close of the service, I now bought 10 copies. I took 10 copies with me home and I distributed them. But then, my own copy, every morning from that day till today, I show Rhapsody. My life has become the expression of God's words because I take time not just to buy Rhapsody, I distribute, I sponsor, but I study every article with passion. And I take time to decree God's word according to Rhapsody concerning my life.
1 second. Can you hear him very clearly? Yeah? Those of you at the back, can you hear him very clearly? The sound will do something about it. Let's see. Is this one open? Praise the Lord, okay.
Praise the Lord. Is it better? Okay, thank you.
That will be better.
So, I take time to study Rhapsody. Now, I find out in life, there are laws, but as a Christian, the amount of the kind of life you want to live as a Christian is totally dependent on you. Jesus has died. Jesus was buried. Jesus was risen. Jesus is seated at the right hand of God. But as a Christian, the life you want to live is totally dependent on you. You can be a Christian and be poor, you will make heaven. You can be a Christian and be rich, you will make heaven. The choice is yours. If you read Romans, let me first go to 2 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 9. It talks about we knowing the grace of God, that though he was rich, yet for our sake he became poor, that we through his poverty might become rich. He didn't say should. Meaning that he leaves you with a choice. When he was giving us salvation, like we have in John 3:16, He said, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believes in him should not perish. It's a law. It's a law. Should not. But when it comes to riches, he puts that word there, might. He didn't say should. That leaves you with a choice. Pastor, I made up my mind. When I gave my life to Christ, I suffered so much before I gave my life to Christ. And I made up my mind never to suffer. I made up my mind never to be poor after knowing God's word. And I looked at God's word. What are those things that I can't really do that will separate me, will unpick me, will pluck me out of poverty? I find that is giving. Giving. There are things prayer can do, but there are things sacrifice will handle. Some things you will pray. I speak in tongues. I pray. I'm a man of prayer. I love prayer. I worship God. But there are some things that prayer, worship will not solve. There are some things, if you like, pray from now till next year. Prayer is beautiful. But, if you want to really study God's word, you know that there are laws. But these laws are not laws like, boundaries like we have in the Old Testament. There are laws of love. Prosperity is practically about your giving. When the third month, the second month, March precisely, we had prosperity convention when Reverend Chris came to Warri. I was in that hall throughout the program. And in that program, I heard all the testimony. And I looked at my life. I said, God, I am at the right place. I'm at the right place. But I was not having the catch, the money, so to say, that I really want to give. I gave the little. Sometimes, you give up. You give what you have. What you have presently is not the sacrifice that you need. That which you have, that you can relate to, is not the sacrifice. The sacrifice, the Isaac, is actually somewhere, and you know it. So, as the meeting was going on, what I told myself then, some of you here know me, I was just a roadside welder, just at Ekete Waterside Junction here. Many of you know me then, just a roadside welder. And somehow, I had just one Lincoln welding machine that I used to hire then. The day the program was rounding up, One of the pastors precisely came out and announced that the altar is still burning. That if God has laid it on your heart to give, make sure you come and do it. And right there and then, I told myself, that's it. There was this money that I was expecting to be paid, 200 and something thousand. Then to me it was very big money. And I said, when that money come, I will drop the whole money on the altar. Pastor, interestingly, the day the money came, challenges were all around that were enough to swallow the money. Precisely. Then there was no phone. My car, I had one gold color Mercedes 230 coupe. Then, from here, my fuel light was already on. Before I drove home, I was staying in McDermott Road. Before I drove home. And in the morning, they called me on the radio that I should come and collect the money. Now, my house, that morning, there was nothing to eat. No food. But I told myself that it's either we break this chain once and for all. I will never be poor. Pastor, I took this money. I gave it all. Immediately I gave the money. Something happened. I began to hear from the Holy